All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have John Quinn live from his garage. John, the founder of the Ace Racing League. John, how you doing here tonight, man?
Doing great, Dave. Doing great, like always, man.
Yeah, turn your mic on, John.
All right, hey, you got me there? You got me, Dave?
Still can't hear you, bud.
Hold on. Should be on. You got me there? Hopefully not having a technical
Still
difficulty
can't hear
there.
you.
Hold on. Hold on. Let's see. Mike is.
No, John, it's on your end. Oh, well, he said he can hear both of us.
You can hear. They can hear us.
Hold on. All right, John, let's try this now.
All right, can you hear me? I can hear you perfectly.
John, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, buddy. I'm
Yeah,
here.
there you go. I had to turn.
Okay.
I had to adjust the settings in there, man. So what's up, John? How's it going tonight, man?
Oh, and I'm Matt. You know, it's an excellent night. Whenever I could be out here working on the old race car, it's an excellent night. You know.
Absolutely, it is, man. So Ace Racing League, second year in existence, man. How's it feel to have this series up and growing each and every year?
Well, we're going into our third season. You know, 2024 coming up. Here's our third season. Um, you know, we're excited for it, like always. We've got a couple new interested drivers, and we're gonna be, you know, going to some tracks here. Hopefully, Barberton comes on. You know, the first thing we gotta do, we gotta thank our sponsor, JVS Services. They're, you know, longtime sponsors of this thing going forward, and we're still working on a couple other deals as we speak, but JVS has been on board, and they're actually going to be we're actually be doing our champion celebration this coming weekend, February 10th, with our top 5 in points on JVS's party bus. So we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a really good time.
Absolutely, man. JVS Services have been a fixture in this series since the exception, man, or inception of it. I know that you were supposed to have Sean Bubsy on here, the winner of the inaugural championship. Take us through that, man. How did it feel to have Sean Bubsy, a veteran of racing, being in the series, kind of get the series out there? You know, a little bit, because Sean raced about a year and a half, and then after that he put a couple celebrity drivers in his car, and they were pretty good in them cars too. So
Yeah. It was great to have Bubsy be on board and still on board. Bubsy is now our tech inspector. You know, having someone like with his mindset on board with what we're doing with our stock car series. He knows exactly what we're trying to do, and he's now our tech inspector for the last half of the 2023 or the 2022 season, or the last half of 2023 season. Sorry, his time's warping with me, man. And this season coming up, he is going to be our tech inspector, lead tech inspector for the series, and we're excited to have him on board with where that's going. And he's been a great pushing the information out and trying to help people out, just putting whoever he can in his car to give them a taste of what it's like to race one of these stock cars.
yeah, man, he's been doing that for a little bit. I know he's jumped up to modified and whatnot this year, and I know he had a little bit of bad luck last year when he started out, but Sean was still there to help you guys and give some advice to the guys in the Ace Racing League.
Absolutely, yeah, and he's stepping up the plate. We're going to be working on a program to on the Thursday night practices at Lorraine. We're going to be working on a little program to help the newer drivers out, the drivers that we're gonna be working on some things to help them out with some driving skills challenges during the practices and Thursdays. And Bubsy's going to be there helping out with that. And he still has some desire to build a car, put random people in, sell the car, and kind of get a rotation of that going. Is kind of what his desire is with his end of the Ace Racing deal.
Now, John, going into your third year of this league, Ace Racing League, what do you expect to year three? I know that you guys got your rules set. They're pretty locked up. I do believe, I think you told me they were for 5 or 6 years, right? When you first initially started this. Year three coming up. What are you expecting this year? Any more cars coming out? Any new drivers? You know, you got any feelers out there on any new tracks that have reached out to you and said, John, we like what you're doing. We'd like to have you guys come down here and check out our track.
Yep. We do. We have some interest with Barberton. As with whatever's going on with Barberton, we do have some interest with them bringing us on when they open up again. And of course, you know, got to give a big shout out to Randy the Maggios with their 2 Tracks 1 Family for having us on for a third year, and Randy Smart with Mid-Val Speedway. We're working our schedule's set for Lorain and Painesville, but we also do have some coming up for Mid-Val. We got a couple things we're working on with Mid-Val right now. As far as new drivers, I believe we got Colleen Norris showed me she's got a car going. The black and red number 8 that I had has been sold to someone that they want to wait to unveil it, but that car is going to be with a permanent driver instead of a hodgepodge of drivers. I've got my eye personally on. I'm going out to get 2 more cars to put roll cages in. One of them I already got, and then the other one I got to go get. And I'm gonna just same thing. I'm gonna rotate some drivers through that, and hopefully give them the bug. Hopefully give them the taste of it they need to go out and build their own car.
And John, I don't know if you heard the first part of the question, but year three, what are you expecting? More growth, more
Oh,
tracks to come
yes.
along, or get the name out there a little bit
Absolutely.
more?
We're going to concentrate on the 3 tracks that we have right now. And yes, absolutely growth. That's the biggest thing. We'd love to see more builders come on, more cars come on, more drivers. This is the way this is. This is as far as circle track racing goes. This is the most cost effective way to do it. And you know, we keep putting out the word, and we're hoping to see some new drivers. You know, we put some feelers out. A lot of guys want to kind of, you know, keep it a little secret what they're doing, but we're expecting some growth for sure for the 2023 season, or for the 2024 season. And we're expecting some new sponsors to come on, so we're going to grow that way as well. But the biggest thing we expect from everybody is just come out and have a good time. Like the guys that we have with us week in and week out, they're having a damn good time, and that's the biggest expectation we have for this upcoming race season. Just everybody have a good time, you know, get the racing, you know, get racing, having a really good time.
Now, John, let me ask you this question. You raced for years, and then you just decided, you know, hey, I want to, you know, do something fun and bring the fun back into racing. And now you're a promoter and you're up there in the tower and you got to make calls and whatnot. You see the other side of it now. Is it a lot different from that point of view than it is behind the wheel that you thought, man, maybe I was, you know, doing some stuff wrong in the race car when I raced and whatnot?
I could definitely see where I've done, you know, a couple iffy things. Being up in the tower and working with Joe and Nick up there in the tower, you know, it's a fun aspect of it, and I definitely I definitely have a different feeling for how they are, and yeah, maybe some of the misplaced things that they get from time to time if they make the wrong call, or you know, if they make the call, you know, obviously you're not going to make everybody happy. That's the biggest thing with this, and I could see on their end, but you know, it's a fun aspect to be up in the tower and see how everything works and how race control works and how you operate up there, and you know, it's a good time, and to sit there and, you know, make the calls and make sure that Ace is putting on a good racing product on track. Yeah, sometimes it's stressful, but for most times it's a good time up there.
Absolutely it is, man. And you should be proud of yourself, man. I know that you and Kevin Broski started this series and you guys been working and if we can give Kevin a moment of silence. I know he just lost his mom about a week and a half ago. If we can give him a moment of silence real quick. Kevin, our condolences go out to you, everybody from Redline Radio, all the shows and everything. All of our condolences go out to you and your family. Sorry for your loss. Yeah, but getting back to it, you couldn't do this without the team you have. Your girlfriend, she supports you each and every week going out to the racetrack with you. And even though, she got behind the wheel of a race car this year in an enduro race, any chance of her getting behind the wheel of an Ace Racing League car?
Well, she does now have the itch for it, and yeah, like I said, I got a couple more cars that I'm gonna be putting some roll cages in here, and yeah, she might be one of the mystery drivers that can, make a night. We her first practice sessions were at Lorraine, so she's very comfortable with that track, and she could be comfortable out there mixing it up with the other ace competitors out there at Lorraine Raceway. We never know.
And Colleen Norris is in a chat. She says she can't wait to start the season. I know at the end of the season you got a new car with Tim Ferrara, the Mustang. Is there one car out there that's been dominant, John, between the Chevys, the Fords, the Dodges, any cars that you're wanting to see out there and see what they can do? I know that there was a BMW out there, Jason out there in the number 6.
Yeah, Jason Wainwright in the number 6. We would like to see we would like to see a lot of car parity. I don't want this to become something where it's just the Dodge Challenger or just the Chevy Camaro or just the Chevy Mustang, because that kind of gets boring. The idea of this is to get some of the modern cars out there, some of the cars that you wouldn't think are race cars. And Jason with his BMW is one of the good examples. I got to hot lap that car this last summer, and we're working with Jason on getting him more comfortable being uncomfortable in the car and going fast. He works on being comfortable, so his speeds aren't there yet. But being able to run that car, the speeds of that car are there. So we would like to see some more of a little bit more, some more of the foreign products. I know there was a guy that was building a Lexus IS 300, I believe it was, and one of the cars that I went out I found a BMW 5 Series for $400. So that's gonna be one of the cars out there. I would like to see some more Camaro products out there. The Camaros have been a little bit lacking this season, but with people having personal issues and mechanical issues. The Dodges, they should be coming on pretty strong. They got the horsepower, but they're big and heavy. And the Mustangs are pretty good with a little bit less horsepower, but a little bit better of a handling package. So I'd like to see a lot of different cars out there. I'd like to see some more foreign rides. Um, just stuff that people recognize from the streets on the track. I think racing has kind of gotten away from recognizable cars on track, and so that's kind of the idea behind this. As well, just being a stock, cost-effective thing. So there's cheap cars out there from every manufacturer that would make excellent circle track cars.
Absolutely, they would, man. And I know that me and you raced a bunch of times together, and we started out in spectator stock was now evolved into Chargers, and you've seen just about every car that had a front wheel drive motor, 2.8, 3.1, 3400, 3500, whatever. I know that you guys put a lot of work into what you guys do over there at the Ace Racing League, and you guys should be proud of yourself. Everybody who competes in that series, everybody is all professionals. You can go talk to them in the pits afterwards. I haven't really seen any bad wrecks or any bad feuds between anybody in the Ace Racing League, and that's what it's about, man. I've also seen some people helping each other out, and hey, you wrecked your car, we're over here helping you out so you guys can go race. That's what it's all about. You wanted that when you started this. I remember sitting at Joe's at New Year's when you came up with this idea. You were like, yeah, this is where I wanted to be. I want to get back to grassroots racing. That's what you kind of got to, John. So you guys should be proud of yourself over there at the Ace Racing League.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're working on. We want to bring more the down home hobby stock fun of it back to racing. I know there's guys that are hobbyists and there's guys that are maybe a little more serious about what they do. we're getting back to the fun. I know Trident. We kind of had a Trident was kind of our one down race that we really had of the year, where too many guys tore up equipment, but we got that handled. We got that handled really quickly. I believe for the rest of the season, we had a good rest of the season. We've had some really tight racing, and that's the other aspect that I want to bring to this. I want to put on a show for the fans, because without without those fans that sit in the stands that come there, none of us would have a chance to race if it weren't for fans. And I want to be able to, my guys, that's what they know, and what they know that is expected of them is to put on an exciting show for fans. And a lot of our races last year and the first year have come down tight to the green to checkered and tight to the end, with 3 to 4 and sometimes 5 guys battling for the lead all the way to the checkered flag. And that's what I'm trying to put on. So we're working on. There won't be a guy that dominates. Will it happen sometimes? Maybe something happens. Some guys had some bad luck. Yeah, but for the most part, we're gonna put on some good tight racing shows. It's not gonna be a guy blowing the whole field away by 2 or more seconds. It'll be guys dicing it up for the win all the way to the end. Is the goal. Guys and ladies, I should say, competitors.
I see
Competitors
that we have
dicing it up.
Chipper in here. Absolutely. And we got Chipper in here. He's a co-host of mine on my show and my Renegade show. And he's a big NASCAR fan. What would you say to a guy like him who doesn't come out to the racetrack, who is kind of interested in racing but doesn't know what this league is about? Could you tell him a little bit about what the Ace Racing League is about, and try to sell him onto that, to come out to the racetrack to see you guys race?
Sure, absolutely. For one, got to get out to the track first. That's the biggest thing. Come out and watch. Come out and watch. April 20th and 27th, I believe, are Lorraine and Painesville's opening nights, respectively. Right. So come on out and watch the action, and then from there, if you want to get behind the wheel, our catch is strip it, cage it, race it. That's it. Too simple. Strip it, cage it, race it. Go find that $500 to $1,000, cheap Mustang, Camaro, Charger, 3 Series, rear wheel drive car. Strip it down, get a roll cage in it, get your safety gear right, and come out and be part of the action. That's where it's at.
I know this question is going to be asked to you, John. Is there anything new that's going to be changing for 2024? Any payout, any new rules that you guys revised or whatnot, and looked over during the winter and said, hey, we need to change that?
Yeah, well, rule revisions, we are going with for the driver's side doors, they have to be plated. We're updating our safety rules as it goes. That's the biggest thing. That's not locked in, is stuff for safety. And as we go forward this, we'll keep looking at cars, and if we have to make an adjustment on the fly, if one car does get out of control and it's obvious that's not the car, or if it's obvious that's the car, not the driver's skill, if anybody could get in the car and dominate because it's the car, we'll look at making some adjustments on the fly, because that's the other thing about this. We want this to be about driver skill, not the car. Anybody can go, and you and I know this from 30 years of racing experience. Anybody can go open up the checkbook, and spend a bunch of money and make their car fastest, and not necessarily have any driver skill with it. So I want to keep this cost effective, and so we'll work on stuff to keep it cost down and keep it to driver skill. But as far as rule changes, yeah, the door plates, we're losing.
And John,
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry to cut you off, but real quick, you touched on keeping it cost efficient and whatnot. You guys have policed this league, or Ace Racing League, really well so far in 2 years. And everybody's been kind of, I've never heard you say, well, I caught him cheating, or I caught this person doing this, or they're trying to get away with this. I know that you said, hey, all my guys are legal. They're ready to go. That's what I like to do at the racetrack, where I ain't got to worry about that stuff. So kudos to your guys for doing that too. And kudos for you guys for keeping up on that, man. I mean, I know that takes a lot to go over there and check everybody's car.
Yeah, we like to do, our biggest thing is we don't we don't want to be disqualifying anybody. Like that's not it. You know, you know how it is. You get in the tech and it gets a little stressful when you get in the tech as a driver. We don't want to be disqualifying anybody. Everybody has worked hard on these cars. You know, they work hard to be there. You know, and this is supposed to be something that's fun to take your mind off the work week, take the mind off family life. You know, whatever we do this hobby for. So what we do is we will run around during the race day and we'll kind of spot check some guys. There's been some things that we spot check guys on, you know, maybe before a heat race or definitely before a feature. And we're like, hey, you can't do this. Let's get it fixed so you don't get disqualified, you know, especially if a guy's getting his first feature. We've had a lot of first time feature winners over the last few years. The most recent being Roy Lowe, you know, is our most recent first time ever feature winner after, you know, he's been racing for a few years in the front wheel drives and he comes over here and he's had some great success. Well, you know, we spot checked something on his car that day and, you know, we're glad we did because then he didn't get disqualified at the end of the night. So that's we kind of police our series as the night's progressing just to make sure everybody's on the up and up.
Yeah, I mean, John, you guys do a great job on keeping up with these cars. And, you know, again, you guys got a bunch of great drivers. They're all friendly. You know, you can go talk to them, go hang out with them, and get some advice from them, and especially your crew too as well. I know it takes a lot to, you know, get people to come to the track with you and help you out on Saturdays. And, you know, give your crew a nice round of applause whenever you see them. I know it's just you, Kevin, and Morgan at times, but other times you got people helping you guys out. So you know how hard it is to do that stuff and to get people to commit for every Saturday, you know, and it's tough to do that. It really is. But again, you guys got a good crew.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I got a solid crew. Kevin's a great help every week and our wives are great help every week. And now, like I said, bringing Bubsy on. I also want to give a shout out to the McCalls. Randomly, the McCalls will throw up a little bit extra money for the McCall family. There's always great about throwing up a little bit extra cash for these guys on especially on special events like Trident or the first year the figure 8 nationals when they went. So we got some good support. You know, this is very simple and down home grassroots, and we have awesome support from people in the pits. Charlie Schultz comes over and helps out every once in a while. Like, you know, there's just awesome guys that believe in the low budget, the grassroots hobby stock series that this is, and want to see it stay as what it is and not get into a series of, you know, guys that just keep chucking, you know, race car parts, race car bodies, race car engines, wheels, and get stuck with this. Because one of our other goals is to get people in this, but also to kind of, you know, once they want to go faster, it's not, hey, let's make these cars faster. It's they want to go up to pure stocks, front wheel drives, or even modifieds or street stocks. To see Bubsy go back to modifieds from this is awesome. You know, to see Luke go to pure stocks from his first year, Luke Justice, you know, first year he raced with us and he got the itch and instantly want to go up to pure stock. And that's awesome. That's what this is there for, is to also be a feeder division to get drivers up into the other of the other faster divisions and just keep racing alive and well in general.
Well, John, you know, you talk about all these people that are helping you out. I'm sitting here thinking I got my brain going. Redline Radio wants to help you guys out. We can either do one of two things, and I mean, we'll talk about it. But one of my ideas is we could pay the top two finishers in the heat race, put up $30, 20 for the winner, 10 for second, or we could give the feature winner a free pass to get into the next week. So whatever you decide to do and where you think it's better at, you let me know, and that's exactly what we'll do.
Yeah, we'll talk on that. I'll definitely talk with that. I'll put it. I have a messenger group. I'll put it up to vote with the guys in the messenger group, and I like that. Yeah, and we'll gladly bring you on. That sounds like a good sponsorship and partnership, Dave.
Yeah, I mean, anything to do to help you guys out, man. I know sometimes it's tough for, you know, people to come up with that money to get into the racetrack. And I know, you know, people race, you know, they say they don't race for money or just the fun of it, but sometimes, you know, it's nice to have a $20 bill. You know, you go out there, that could buy you some, well, can't buy you no food now because you can't go to McDonald's and buy any, or two people can't eat for $20 anymore over there. So that's kind of messed up. But it is what it is, but $20 will help them out, get them some gas, maybe $20 towards the tire, $10 will help them out too. So however you guys decide, just let me know, John, and that's what we'll do. Whether any way you guys want to work it out, whether Redline Radio pays for the feature winner to get in the next week or the heat race winner, 20 and 10, you figure it out and let me know. And that's what we'll do for 2024.
Sounds great, Dave. That sounds fantastic. Yeah, we'll work on something. Yeah, we always like to show our drivers appreciation. So, like I said, we got awards and a little bit of money going for our top 5 in points from this last season. So, but yeah, that'd be great to get something for the heat winners or get that feature winner a free pit entry. So yeah, we'll talk more about that, and I'll run it by the whole Ace group and see which way they want to go with it.
Okay, cool. Just let me know about that, John. And then is there an age limit for anybody who's sitting in the stands out there watching, older, younger generation fans who are out there watching? Because I know there's some kids that come out to the racetrack and they loved the 59 of Tim Ferrara's car this year when he came out with it, and they were talking about it and they were wanting to get information about it. And I told them to reach out to you. I don't know if they did. It was a father and son reaching out to you about the rules and whatnot, and I gave them your guys' information. So, I mean, is there any age limit for the kids out there in the stands? I know that you got Rising Stars out of Painesville Speedway. You still got that going on, but any age limit going on for you guys?
We do go with the track's rules on the age, which I believe is 13. So that's the youngest you could be with the parent consent form and everything like that. And we encourage, once again, this is the most, aside from maybe go-karting, this is the most cost-effective way to get the youngsters, if they got that itch and that drive, like, hey, I want to go circle track racing. I want to be the next Mike Lawson, or Ty Schaefer, or any of the guys that have been big name stars. The guys that they see and they look up to and admire. Those little kids that want to race. This is the way to do it, to get them out on the track.
Andy McCall says opening night at Lorraine Ace Racing League, $25 to fast qualifier.
There you go. See, the McCall family always stepping up. We love the support from the McCall family. They've been one of our, from the inception of this, before, when I was still bringing the prototype car to the track in 2021. The McCalls have always been 100% on board with this, and they're a great family. You and I, we've raced against a lot of the McCalls over the years. We know what they're all about.
Yeah, they're good people, man. They're good people. I mean, they'll help you at the track too. And thank you to Andy and them for stepping up and doing that. Jason Shaw, he's in the comments. Again, Colleen's in there. A lot of good people, like I keep saying this, John, a lot of good people in your guys' series or league. You don't like to call it a series. I keep slipping it up. It's a league, where you guys go to the track, have fun. You try your hardest each and every week. I've seen you, come up to the tower all dirty because you're out there working on a car to get the car out on the racetrack. And that's what it's about, man. That's what it's about, having your promoter and the guy who founded the league get his hands involved into it too. So that means a lot to the drivers, whether you like to see that or not. It means a lot to them. It really does.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, listen, I like being down in trenches. I like running around. I've probably have wrench time and like helping Jason Wainwright out, or helping helping Hartzell out when it was his car, or helping get a fuel pump in a Mustang, or whatever it is to help keep a car on track. Kalo, the first year he was out, he had a starter issue the first night. We were trying to get that thing right down the wire, trying to get that thing ready to go. So for the feature, unfortunately, we couldn't make it happen. We were trying to push start it. Our crew is right there to help anybody out just as much as the drivers should be right there to help anybody out. There's no what's the corny thing? There's no me and team, or there's no I and team. There's no I and team. We're one big team in the end of this thing, trying to get out there and get on the track.
JJT, your champion, said the best way to enter the racing world. My car is still on the trailer since Cavalcade. We'll pull it out of the weeds for this year and maybe repeat. He came on strong the second half of the season.
Yeah. Jay's been he's really picked up a lot from year 1 to year 2. racing. And yeah, that's the other fun part of this league is, we got guys that just go to the racetrack on Saturday, load it up on the trailer, and it just sits on the trailer until the next Saturday, and it's tire pressures and a splash of fuel and ready to go back out the next Saturday or the next 2 Saturdays, whenever the next race is. Like this is so low effort to go out and race in this series. Like, this isn't, you don't need to break your back in the garage, every night of the week to have one of these, go out and be fast. Like, it's just not what it's about. Just go out and have fun. And once again, like if that might not be the mentality for all people, but well, once it gets to be where you want to get a little bit more serious about it, this is the stepper division or stepper series, I should say, or league, however you want to call it. I do call it a league, but it is a stepping stone to get up into another car that's faster, another division, a weekly division at one of the tracks that's faster. Like I said, so Jay's on the right path. Yeah, Jay and Bubsy, I know for sure, man. Their cars, the one had leaves in it. Oh, Bubsy's car had leaves flying out of it opening night because it just sat outside uncovered all season. The thing was snowed in and then had all the tree leaves in it. That's how little he cared about the car over the course of owning it.
Colleen says this class reminds her of the old Detroit Iron class that you raced out at Barberton Speedway.
Yep. And that's what this is modeled off. This is modeled off the old spectator stocks where you and I started, Dave. It's modeled off the old stock car class of Cloverleaf or the Detroit Iron of Barberton. Just bare bones. Now in those days they were allowed to go out and race without roll cages. Obviously, we can't do that. Speeds are a little bit higher now in these cars, and these cars are made of a little bit different materials than those old iron boxes, those old Detroit irons. So we have to have the roll cages. I'm gonna be honest with you. Our theory is if we didn't have to put roll cages in them, we probably would have been at, I don't know, maybe 40 cars with this thing. But we do have to have the roll cages. We do have to have the seats. But it's still minus the fact that we do got to put safety equipment in. That's what it is. It's the old school, the old school racing, the early 2000s, the 90s, the 80s, strictly stock racing.
Yeah, that's what Colleen said. That's what Colleen says. She says spectator stock way back in 1982. So, and Colleen, I do believe she's got a car and she's going to be the first woman to compete in Ace Racing League, correct? Is that true, John?
Yeah, well, to be fair, we don't like to look at it like that. Every racer's on an equal basis. But yeah, first we'll have our first female competitor in that. But yeah, everybody, we don't see things like that. We see everybody as a competitor, no matter, age, sex, race, religion, any of that. She's a competitor now.
I like the way you. So, yeah, I like the way you say that. Really appreciate that, man. And John, you guys got some sponsors. You got sponsors. You say you got JVS Services. Who else do you guys got for this year?
Well,
I don't think people heard at the beginning of the show because we had a little bit of sound issue.
Yeah. Well, with what we were talking about, you'll be coming on board. We do have B&D Towing as an associate sponsor that's going to help out a little bit. And then I got a couple other feelers out there. And I actually believe, one of our drivers, Roy, had mentioned something to me, and I'm going to talk to him a little bit more this week with what he's got going on. But we could have a couple more sponsors coming on. So just to help out with some things. So, but nothing solid enough that we're gonna put it down as black and white, ink is on page type deal.
Colleen says she hasn't strapped in a few years, but she's ready to go. So
oh, I believe it. Yeah, and it sounds
that's awesome to hear.
Yep, and it sounds like she's got a good support group. Colleen's been messaging me with the progress on her car, and it's awesome to see. So
she's got a Ford Mustang, right? Isn't that what she's racing this year?
Yes, she has a 5th generation Ford Mustang, which is stylish and cool looking car on the track. The 59, the 8s, There was a blue one that came out for Cavalcade. They look really cool on the racetrack, like they're really cool looking cars on the racetrack. And that's, once again, that's the aim of it, just cool cars on the circle track.
She says it's an '06 Mustang.
Yep, 06. That's fifth generation. So, and then the ones that
Yeah, I mean, go ahead, John.
oh no, that thought's long past.
Oh, okay. So, what is your goal ultimately with the Ace Racing League moving forward?
Create new drivers. Create new drivers and bring old drivers out of retirement. That's the other cool thing about this. Some of the guys that maybe had family obligations or life obligations, career obligations, or just simply got priced out of what Chargers has become, or got priced out of. However it works out, there's guys that are talking about coming out of retirement. I have Jeremy Halfhill wanting to get behind the wheel, and others. So that's another big thing, is to bring guys out of retirement. But ultimately, the number one goal with this moving forward is create new drivers, get guys in, but also get them fed up into um, street stocks, modifieds, chargers, pure stocks. Get them in here, get the bite, get them taught some things, get them taught, how to conduct themselves as a race car driver on track, and not be slammed into everybody, and not be a weapon on track, and then go forth and have great success in a modified one day, or a great success in a pure stock one day, whatever they want to go into. But we want to produce some successful drivers, is uh, one of the very, very front and forward goals of Ace Racing League.
And John, what I was going to say is here. So, man, I just lost my train of thought real quick, man. I got to get that back.
Yeah, getting
What
old,
was I
huh?
going to say? Yeah, I had it right on the tip of my tongue, and then you finished something, and I was reading the comments, and I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, I know what I was going to say. You guys raced the figure eight out of Painesville Speedway. Are you guys just exclusively asphalt, or is there any dirt tracks that are interested in you guys as well? And have you talked to your guys about maybe competing on dirt?
We would like to do a dirt track again, but we want to do it under different circumstances. There was an invitational dirt event that we went to, and they kind of mixed us in with their street stocks, pure stocks, and our guys were about 4 seconds off pace, and it kind of got hairy. So we're open to trying a dirt race again, but it has to be on the terms of ace cars by themselves, or cars that are in a similar time bracket, because you know how that is. That far of a time bracket is off. As far as fun races go, this last time we were at Midvale, we were supposed to do their Roval, but weather became a factor, and we couldn't get the Roval dry enough to safely conduct it, so we just went to a standard circle that night. Um, the Roval will be coming back this season, because that's the kind of challenges that our racers are up to task with. We don't got anybody that's going to be afraid of making a right hand turn. You know what I mean? It's and that's where it's at. We got racers they're up to any challenge, and that's the kind of competitors that I like to have with us. So the Roval will be back on the docket for this season, and we are excited to see how the Roval goes.
Now, John, how many races do you guys have scheduled this year?
Right now, we are at 12 races that are in black and white on paper, and that's with the two tracks, one family, with Randy Maggio, the Maggio family, at both their tracks. Still working on a couple things with Midval, and since we're kind of a fly by the seat of our pants type things, we could be announcing a race as late as September. We could be in September, and be like, hey, we're gonna have a race coming up here on the fly. So we like our guys to be ready for that kind of thing. So we got a couple irons in the fire that getting ready to pull them out here pretty soon.
And Justin or Jason Wainwright just got into the chat. He said it's a couple of guys not afraid to turn right during the race. Justin Andres, he's LOL. Jason Shaw is in the chat now. So, and if you guys are looking for tires for this series, you guys can hit up Jason. He's got a bunch of tires out there at Broadway Tire. So make sure you tell him that I sent you and Ace Racing League sent you, and you get a pretty good deal. But Jason's first year racing, man. I know me and Jason became pretty close as a friendship, man, and dude's got it, and he's got his goals ready to go, and a new car almost ready to go for this year. He's excited. I know when I talked to him, he was looking to get that thing stripped and ready to go.
Yeah, Jason's an excellent dude. He's definitely a down for anything dude. We like hanging out with Jason. We like BSing with. I'm keeping my language clean. We like shooting the breeze with Jason in the pits after races, during the races, during the week. Yeah, Jason's definitely hooked me up on tires for the enduro cars. He's a good dude. We like to see him. We always like seeing him on the track. He's an excellent personality, and like I said, we're gonna work with him, and we're gonna squeeze a couple seconds out of that guy. We're gonna squeeze him down in the 19 seconds. I know it.
I think what I'm going to do, since Jason says we're family now, I think what we're going to do is I'm going to talk to Jason and maybe see if we can give the second place guy in the feature maybe a couple tires to get him to the track. I'll talk to Jason and see if we can get him to do that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So that way there helps out the racers too as well.
Oh, absolutely. Those are the guys that make it happen, really and honestly, the most. More than Kevin, Bubsy, or myself. The racers are the guys that make it happen. We definitely like to show our appreciation to the racers.
Jason Shaw says he's old school. He's still using a car dolly. Nothing wrong with that as long as it gets you to the racetrack, and that gets more eyes on the series too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, we definitely appreciate part of the old school aspect of it. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand, a box trailer is good for a lot of things, but one of the things, as a kid coming up, and hell, even as an adult, I still get excited when I see a race car on a trailer and freeway. I'm like, where's that race car going? Where, Morgan, she laughs. I'm always staring at junkers and race cars. But yeah, we appreciate, and that's really, and honestly, that's how it helps out the sponsors too. Like, we go out to the track and we only have so many eyes at the tracks, but when they see the race car and when they see the bright, multicolored, beautiful sponsored up race cars on the trailer, and we'd be like, hey, what is that? Where's it going? What's it say on the side? What's that sponsor? That's another way to, get the publicity for racing in general out there, and of course get the publicity for your sponsors.
Absolutely, man. And you're right on that, man, because them sponsors deserve it. So they're the drivers, man. They deserve it. Them people that are, driving down the street, seeing your car. Not to say that they deserve seeing it, but it's kind of cool to see that stuff, because you never know. There might be their first time ever seeing a race car like that and say, like you said, I'm going to follow that guy to the racetrack and see what that's all about. Because it only takes one time. That's it. You're going to be hooked.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we got I started dating Morgan almost 3 years ago now, and she never knew about racing before this, and now her sister, and and slowly we're getting people in that way. Just there's ways to get more people to the racetrack, I believe, and we work on it, and I'm always brainstorming that, and we've talked with the Maggio family, and I know you and we always talk about more ways to get fans of the track and keep them coming to the track, so you've always got some good ideas on hand yourself.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. You just got to get people there. I mean, you get them there, you get them to watch the races, and they're going to be hooked. Either they're going to like it or they're not going to like it. It's not for everybody, but for the people that are there, man, they like it. I see, I was telling Randy Sr. this, Lorraine and Painesville is different fan wise, because you see the same people each and every week out of Painesville Speedway who support that place, who look forward to going out there each and every week for Painesville Speedway and doing the figure eight. Lorraine, you don't see a lot of the same people out there all the time. Not like when we were growing up. It's a new breed of people out there, and that's what you'd like to see. As the announcer, I stand up there at the top by the tower and I look around all the time, and I'm like, man, that person's new, and that's good not only for the racetrack, but also for the racers, because now these racers are getting new eyes on them.
Absolutely. And the Maggios have done good things, because they do bring in new different fans every week, which is putting new eyes on it. And they get that opportunity to, especially with Lorraine, they get to host, they got more opportunity to host bigger events when you go to Lorraine. You're going to see a super modified show. You're going to see a Race of Champions modified show, a late model show. So that's bringing in all different new sets of fans, and you might see them come back the next week to be there to check out what else is going on. But they bring in a multitude of fans, like hands down. I gotta say, in the last few years of the Maggio Zone in Lorraine, the improvements that they put on that place and what they do to put the word out, they really do an excellent job. I've never, I not to take anything from anybody else anywhere, but they're improving that place and they're making it just customer friendly, family friendly, racer friendly, just everybody friendly. They're making it. It's worth your time and investment and money to go there and watch a race, be a racer, be a competitor. Everything, every aspect of it's great. And Painesville's great, and like I said, I'm not here to take away anything from anybody else, but just to see the improvements that place has gone through in the past few years. The pits are more open now. The pits are more accessible. It's not gravel flying anywhere. They knock down that tree lot. They just improve everything. So, and that's pretty cool. So, and I wish them great success for, many years in the future of doing good.
Absolutely, man. And I say that all the time, and that's why I try to point that out when I'm on the microphone about the improvements that are made at the racetrack, because oh well, these guys have owned the track for this long and they haven't done anything to this place. Every week last year I came into Lorraine Raceway Park, they were doing something to improve there, whether, like you said, John, the tree line, or adding the gravel when you're coming into off of 113. The little bit of the stuff like that makes a lot of difference for fans, and fans are appreciating that. And that's what it's about, man. Even making it faster to go through the pit line and making it faster to go through the concession stand line, all that little stuff that they have done to improve that really helps out a lot, man. And people see that and they talk about that, but as soon as you make one mistake, people are going to talk about that too as well. So for every one bad thing, there's 5 or 6 good things that people do talk about.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. They're doing great. Yeah, concessions is a breeze to get through. Yeah, you're not waiting in line for anything. It's just a breeze to get through everything. So, and their food is excellent at the concessions. I do wish they'd bring back the chicken wings that the previous two owners had, but that's something that I talk to Randy about all the time. But yeah, it's a great facility, and we're proud to be a part of it. And I'm glad they gave us a chance to bring back stock car racing. Like it's been a great how long I've been pushing that. I've been pushing them ever since he bought Lorraine to do it. And I've been pushing the previous owners on this, and they gave me pushback. They said they wouldn't know how to tech it and this, that, and the other thing. Originally I was just pitching it to them. They should have this as their own division. But they brought us on, and it's been a fun journey working with them. It's great, like you said, to see the inner workings of how everything goes. It's a tough job. Everybody from the flagman to the tower to the tech, to the guy that checks wristbands at the gate. It's a fun but tough job for everybody involved there with um with the how things can be on the racers end of perspective of it. So I do appreciate how they operate as a family owned track, and in Painesville too. Like they run a good tight show. In the 3 years of them running Lorraine, or 4 years of them running, their shows have gotten tighter and more concise. They start on time. There's little downtime. It's a great experience, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
All right, John, we got about 7 minutes left to go in the show. So one last question for you. Do you see yourself in the future with this league having cars that you can rent out or having celebrity like maybe Charlie Schultz do a one-off again, maybe, you know, going up to Mike Lawson or some guys who are in the bigger division say, hey, I got the car for you. Why don't you come out and try it?
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Like I said, next year or this coming season, I should say, there's going to be random people in the cars, and it's going to be people with new experience, and it's going to be guys that are competitors that have had, quite a successful career, is what we're looking to put in there. So, I would like to revisit the rental program. I tried it the first year. I kind of lost money on that deal. I got to revamp that a little bit. I don't mind losing a little bit to help a guy out, but kind of lost a little bit more than I wanted to on that deal. So I'll revisit the rental program once I get that a little bit more solid. But yeah, there will be I'll have a couple cars in the field, get a couple guys in them, and then they'll probably be up for you'll see them come up for raffle and sold, so that guys can, be in them more consistently for Ace. But yeah, I plan on getting a couple more cars in rotation and getting guys in them, getting them run in, getting them battle proven, and then getting them sold to future Ace competitors.
And John, you said again earlier in the show, your three things: buy a car, strip it, cage it, right? That's the three things you need to start in the Ace Racing League.
That's right. Strip it, cage it, race it. Super easy, barely an inconvenience.
All right, John. And again, any sponsors you like to thank for 2023 and moving forward that you want to give a big shout out to?
Yeah, first and foremost, as always, JVS Services. They're giving us the party bus this weekend to use for our champion celebration. And they put up the cash. Our champion's going to get a nice big check, and our top five is going to get some good payout as well, or the top four after him is going to get some good payout. B&D Towing for the support they give, and now you coming on Redline Radio, Redline Promotions. Let's talk asphalt racing. However you want to be called on there, we'll call it Redline. We'll call it Redline Radio for right now. That's the big banner that I know and see. And then we'll be bringing on some future sponsors. We're gonna work out some things for sure.
All right, John, I appreciate you taking time out of your schedule tonight. Get back to work. I know you got a car you're trying to hit Bristol yourself real quick, right?
Yeah, that's the project back here. Try and get this thing race ready for Bristol, because gotta get that bucket list track knocked out, especially if this is going to be the last lap that they're going to do it. I don't think it's going to be. I think they'll do it again, but just in case, I want to get it done for this one.
All right, John, again, appreciate your time, man. Hey, any rule or anything people need to find out, they can follow you guys on your Facebook page. All your rules and stuff are up on there, John?
Yes, we got the rules. We got an update. There was a couple wordings in the rules, so we got an updated rules coming out very soon, but it's all the same rules. Strictly stock cars with roll cages in it. Rear-wheel drive, 6-cylinder, unibody cars. Hunt down Facebook Marketplace, $500 to $1,000 cars starting, plus your roll cage. Go out and race. That's it.
All right, John, and have a good rest of your night, man. And a couple sponsors I want to thank here real quick. I want to thank Mike's Auto Works, official show sponsor here, Mike's Auto Works. He is located at 1585 East 361st Street, Suite M. You can call him at 440-477-0424. Look him up today. And also High Side Bodies. Put your body in the right hands. They're on Orlando, Indiana. And you can call them at 260-704-0588. Make sure you give them a call today. Tell them that Redline Radio sent you, and let's talk asphalt racing. Again, want to give John Quinn and his crew and everybody else over there at the Ace Racing League a big thank you for joining us here tonight. We'll catch you here next week. We'll let you know who the guest is. I'll let you know by Wednesday. Have a good night, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your night.